Well, welcome back to another episode of Waking the People, and throwing this out on Facebook as well. So I'm hopeful that this is actually active at the moment. This is the first time using this particular server, so I will find out briefly if this is actually working. So, a few things to change here, and doing a quick little test. Because it looks like I am live on a couple of options here. All right. It's asking me to do some stuff here. So please bear with me as I get this active. And hopefully this is going to work. So again, bear with me through this process. Because apparently now it wants something different. All right. This is going to be a little bit of an odd episode because I am working my way through something here. And I don't know if it's actually active. We're going to find out. One more time on the password. Well then, it looks like I will be blocked out from a specific option here. Nope. All right. Doesn't look like I'm going to be able to access one, and we'll find out if it is actually working on another. Nothing better than sitting here watching me figure this stuff out. Well, at least my dog joined in. She's coming at you. Well, maybe it's working, maybe it's not. I don't freaking know. I suppose I'll find out here in a minute. Supposedly it's also connected to my Facebook. And it does look like I am live on Facebook. So how about that? And I look rather discerning. Wow. Okay, so it's working there. Fan-frickin-tastic. Well, discard the last several minutes worth here, and let's get to it. So apparently it is working on several platforms. Good. All right, now you got to witness me going through the nonsense of figuring these things out for the first time. I think Joshua's going to be very pleased to finding this out. So this is Waking the People with your host, Sir Chad Everett Broshears. I am down one host today. This is going to only be myself as I just talk to myself in front of an audience, well, or whatever the audience, when the audience gets to it. All right, so there's been quite a few things that have happened in the last several days. So I do want to throw something out there. My other channel, Growing Up in the Wilds of Suburbia, has been getting a lot more attention from me this week because of things in my personal life and developmental aspects. And then now we're on to this other side now. So we're back to the politics side and the state of our nation and the insights from my perspective on that. So if I look like I'm leaning down, I actually am. I've lost about 16 pounds in the last 3 weeks due to other circumstances. If you're curious about that, go over to the other channel, Growing Up the Wilds of Suburbia, and you'll find out what those circumstances are. So other than that, back to this. So to share some things about what's happened in my personal life and my family life since the last time I've actually put a video out on this. So recently, an older brother of mine, there's 4 of us left out of 6. One of my brothers, who's older than myself, had come down with COVID, and he had went to the hospital in PA, Pennsylvania. First, he went to see his doctor, and his doctor refused to give him full treatment because he is not vaccinated. Obviously, that gave me a great degree of anger and hostility and frustration over the situation. And then my brother went to the ER. There at the ER, they admitted him at 10 a.m. They discharged him at 4 because they said they could not continue to treat him because he fell outside of the requirements of treatment, which is a nice way of saying go home to die. They actually did give him kind of those directions. Now, the reason why that's so incredibly important is this happened to my family. It's very close to me. And the other aspects of this is that my brother also, he's always done what he considered to be the right thing. He's worked hard. He has made sacrifices. He doesn't ask for handouts. He works his ass off. He has a very strong immune system, the same as myself. Now, I also have had COVID several times and didn't even know it either time. Natural immunity, I don't care what the hell they say. They can take the big middle finger. Science actually does have a very deep understanding of natural immunity, but right now, people that say trust the science are the ones that seem to want to avoid the inconvenient truths about immunity. So antibody tests, yes, I have actually had that. I did show that I had antibodies, and again, I'm in that category, so they can take the vaccine and shove it right up their own ass. Now, there are people that'll do well with the vaccine. Sure, I'm certain of it. Maybe, I don't know. I question that because this is not the polio vaccine. This is not other vaccines. It's the equivalent to the efficacy of a standard flu vaccine, which means it lasts per season, not into the next evolution of that virus. And even then, those other vaccines have had a long time to actually come up with something a bit more solid, a little bit more consistent that will likely be true, so, or functionally accurate over periods of time. There's a lot that goes into this. Not to get too caught up in the minutia of all of that, it's more about what actually happened to my brother. If you go by basic guidance for people when you have COVID, they will tell you, do not spend extended periods of time on your back because that increases the likelihood of viral pneumonia. Now, I am not a doctor. I'm not a medical professional. I'm holistically educated. I do have a lot of corrective exercise background, and that creates curiosity to understand the body at a deeper level in multiple different ways. Now, with that, I'm not telling people what to do. I am telling people to do your own research if you want to go with that, but not a medical direction of what you should or should not do. That's not my business. That's your business. If you're vaccinated, it's not my business. It's your business. If I'm vaccinated, it's none of your fucking business. Period. If you take that harshly, then that's on you. The reality is it's the same as any HIPAA compliance. It's not your business. None of it's your business. It's not your opportunity to find it to be your business. It is not your business. Get over it. Mainstream media can tell you whatever they tell you. Dr. Fauci can tell you whatever he tells you. If you want more on Dr. Fauci, look at how he handled the AIDS epidemic back in the 80s. He was involved with that. He gave direction and advice. And if you look at history, you'll find out how wrong he's been, how many times he's been wrong. Also looked at what his financial connections are, and that's all I have to say about the rest of that. Look into it, do your own damn research. Don't ask me for the information. Look into it, do your own damn research. So my brother was told that he needed to go home and wait it out. They did not tell him, don't lay on your back. They did tell him that he had double viral pneumonia, but they didn't give any direction on that. They really did give him so little information that, in my opinion, it was them sending him home to die. They did tell him that in order to qualify for specific treatments, he had to qualify for those, and that he did not meet the criteria for those treatments. For whatever reason, they did finally come through and give him the monoclonal antibody treatments, which actually were not supposed to be something he was eligible to and or for, and yet he still was able to because of himself and mostly his wife's persistence that they do something to treat him and not just send him home. Now, with him going home, he had a non-steroidal inhaler and what was it, Theraflu or something like that. Mucinex was one of the things they gave him. That was it. So go home, wait it out. He was not doing well whatsoever. When I found out about the situation, I gave as much information as I possibly could. He, his wife, and his family did start taking some of the information, tried to do what they could to make it better. He is now better by no help or support by the medical system in Pennsylvania. In my opinion, it was minuscule and minor support. It was not to the deeper level of support. So I have a huge gripe over that. Huge gripe in how many other people are being treated that way. Selective care. It's not health care. It's I selectively will treat you because it meets the criteria based off the federal mandates. Federal government did step in and took away monoclonal antibody treatments from the state's ability to purchase and then give at their own discretion. Now it's going by the federal government's discretion, and that means that you have to actually meet a specific criteria to be treated. Federal government is not doing what it can in order to treat you. Part of the criteria in order to get the monoclonal antibodies is that you are vaccinated. If you're unvaccinated, it's supposed to be one of the disqualifiers for that treatment. I could be corrected on this, but as far as I've actually researched into it, I don't believe there's going to be a lot of corrections that come into this. Now, other things that are going on, again, down that pipeline of what is going on a medical level. I did meet with a nurse in the St. Pete area this week, and she did have to state that they only had 3 cases of COVID in the entire hospital. The beds that have actually been filled, not to full capacity, but they are dealing with quite a bit, are all because of injuries due to vaccination. So do your research. I'm not to tell people to get vaccinated nor not get vaccinated. That's up to you. Not my business. I personally am choosing the route that I'm choosing to tell me that if I don't take something the government tells me that I should take, and if not, that I'll lose specific freedoms, rights, then I have a problem with that. I'm going to speak out against it. So hopefully other people also have the same mentality to look into things on their own to figure those things out. So that's a lot, and not really breathing much in the process. There has been a lot going on. Supposedly, as of right now, or within the last 2 days, Biden was supposed to go under for a colonoscopy, which at the meantime, they were giving Kamala Harris the full authority of the presidency. We'll see how that turns out. We've had several elections that have come around and turned into the favor of Republicans, no matter how much the Democrats have tried to actually flip it. Governor of Virginia, and there was a seat in New Jersey that was, I believe, the House Senate, the head of, or the, what is that? It's the top seat for the Senate in New Jersey, was overturned by a man with $153 that he put into his campaign when his opponent raised over $1 million. So it looks like the tide will hopefully be changing so that we get back to a good sense of balance. I hope the pendulum doesn't swing so far it turns into a wrecking ball, but it does seem like the left has created that on their side by swinging the pendulum so far it turned into a wrecking ball. So strip rights away, go through more brown shirt tactics and Nazi type of behaviors, because that's what the left seems to be embodied by right now. You can't have what you want unless you show your papers mentality. So that's the left, unfortunately. I do have some liberal traits, if you have not caught them in the past or you don't hear them now. I also have very conservative traits. So I am a non-party affiliate. That's just the case there. All right, I babbled along, on and on and on. I didn't want to do a very long episode for Waking the People today, but I did want to get on and to talk a little bit about the frustrations I have with the Pennsylvania medical system. The doctors that are refusing to treat people that they're not vaccinated, those doctors, in my opinion, are now becoming the enemy. They're violating their Hippocratic oath. And if they sent back with a great sense of smug accomplishment, I think that should give you all that you need to know. So whenever it comes to supporting them financially in the future, I would rather let those doctors die on the vine by being not that they get any more customer support or their client support. So patients. If they're going to deny medical coverage because of their own ideology, then so be it. If they want to allow their patients to go through the hardships of dealing with a condition or a virus and or leaving them in their own minds to their opportunity to die, those doctors are no longer functioning in the Hippocratic Oath. They are actually more Kevorkian without the ethics of Kevorkian. So, or Dr. Kevorkian. So I have no pity for those doctors. And if anything, I have a whole lot of hardship to offer them because I don't have anything nice to say to them. And if I do engage them in conversation, I absolutely will be engaging them in a way that gives them the understanding that they violated that oath. And that's a sacred oath they should never violate. So, all right. Going on and on and on and on. So, like I said, this is not intended to be a very long video as much as it was intended to just make sure I ironed out some bugs. It will be what it is. Hopefully it's not too much of a disruption in the flow of the videos that you guys have witnessed, whether that is on Facebook or my YouTube channel, Waking the People. But thank you for bearing with this one as I am going through discovering how to actually use this platform, which is my Restream platform that uses Discord as well as YouTube and Facebook. So hopefully it's not so bad that it's floundering about and sounding incoherent. That's not my intention, but it is a little bit out of the norm for me. So with that, again, I am your host, Sir Chad Evergrow Shears, and in the next couple of weeks, we will get Joshua the Kraken and the Patriot, the man that even Prince would sing about, McClendon, back. But his work schedule got disrupted a bit with a recent shooting at an airport in Atlanta. I don't know anything about it at the moment, but I'm sure he's going to come back with quite a bit of details. So I'll probably have details before then as well. In the meantime, you guys stay golden, pony boy, as Joshua would say. And remember, we're Americans. Let's act like it. We do need to bring everything back. We need to get back to the fact that we are one nation and we are a group of individuals that want to see a future that we can all navigate and enjoy. So I'm about to record for the other channel, which is Growing Up in the Wilds of Suburbia. So this will also likely show up the same on Facebook as well. I'm just going to be switching over the YouTube channel on here. So hopefully that's without error. So in the meantime, if you want to catch that, tune into the next one that's going to be showing up in just a minute. If you're not subscribed to Waking the People, by all means, please do go to the channel. If you like the content, go through the content. We've had multiple episodes up to this point. Go to it, like it if you like it, comment on it, share it with the people in your life that you feel actually will, benefit from it, and we'll keep going. Consistency, persistence. So that's one of the keys to success. So practice, practice, practice. Until next time, stay in integrity, and I'll catch you guys all on the next episode. See ya.